Live
Talks with the
extreme
union's General Secretary, Dr. Patrick Roach. Dr. Patrick Roach,
teachers
good morning
strike.
to you. Thanks very much for joining us here on Brentford.
UK
What
24.
kind of tone are you expecting from the conference?
Well, the tone I think reflects the mood of the profession at large. There's a huge amount of anger, but also a real sense of deep concern, not only for what's happening to the teaching profession, but what's happening to children and young people at the moment. We've got record numbers of children who are missing from education. We've got an SEN crisis in terms of special needs. We've got a mental health and well-being crisis within our schools. We have crumbling buildings, and the government just has not come forward with the answers to fix those problems. The mood of our members right now is
Time's down there,
for change. We
18
need to see
a.m. in the
change,
morning.
and we need it
Date today's the
urgently.
30th of March.
Okay,
Friday. Well,
three things
30th
that
of
you'd
March.
like to hear from the government
Saturday morning,
today.
24.
Well, I mean, we need to see high levels of investment in education. Unfortunately, the Chancellor, in his spring budget earlier this month, didn't offer a penny more for education. And yet we're seeing rising numbers of schools with budget deficits. We need to see action and a coordinated strategy to tackle the teacher supply crisis. We have record numbers of teachers leaving the profession. We have 3 in 4 teachers seriously considering leaving the profession. That can't be addressed with sticking plaster approaches. That needs a concerted strategy to address that. We have not seen that from the government either. And we need to recognise that schools alone can't fix the problems of what seems to be a broken society for too many children and young people. We need to see better coordination across schools, across children's services at large to support all children, young people and families.
You've said there are record numbers of teachers leaving the profession. The Department of Education has said that there are record numbers of teachers now, more than 468,000. That's up 6% since the Conservative government came into power. It's also given pay awards totaling 12% over the past 2 years. Is that not enough then? What more do you want? Give me some numbers.
Yes, sure. Well, I mean, the government talks a good talk, doesn't it? Record numbers of teachers. There are actually increased numbers of pupils as well. Actually, class sizes, pupil-teacher ratios have gotten worse, not better, over the course of the last decade. So the reality is that the government is barely keeping pace with the demand that's out there in the system. And when it comes to teachers' pay, well, 6.5% last year was much more than the government itself wanted to give. And that was the result of the actions of the school teachers pay review body. But even 6.5% represented a below inflation pay award for teachers. We want to see pay restoration. Teachers
they're going on strike.
behind in real terms.
They're not having a good time. The kids in school, bad time.
That needs to be addressed because teachers are leaving the profession, making other
stressed
choices rather than committing to teaching the nation's children.
They just can't face it any longer.
You used the word sticking plaster when you were describing government policies. Now, you will be aware, I certainly am, that this is a phrase, sticking plaster politics is a phrase adopted by the Labour government, often used during Prime Minister's questions and amid accusations of criticisms of government policy. So, the polls at the moment suggest that if there were a general election in the coming months, that the Labour Party is likely to be in power. This is according to the polls at the moment. What will you be asking for the Labour Party from the Labour Party? And do you think the Labour Party will give you what you want if
they can.
Ended up in government?
That's a problem. They got enough money.
Well, I mean, the reality is we don't make any distinction. We make no differentiation between politicians of any political party. Our asks are asks on behalf of our members, on behalf of the teaching profession, and on behalf of the children and young people that our members teach each and every single day. So what we'll be asking Labour, and we are asking Labour, is to make those commitments, making those commitments to working with the profession to find the solutions to the very deep-seated problems that our education service faces at the moment, and commit to the levels of investment over time that are going to be needed to fix the problems that have been created over the course of the last 14 years.
Dr. Patrick Roach, General
There you
Secretary
go,
of
guys.
NASUWT. Thank you very much for joining us.
Subscribe to the channel on
Thank you
Silent
very
Gems with the force people you always got to spot the needs of the money. That way the needs to feel this is my friend Mike and Jimbo. If you find it, 3 to 5 pin, ITF5 thing. So Heels radio station show. And this is my friend, you name it. Seamus and Lou every Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 live on the Sorry Hills radio station every Friday. And this is my friend John the Last Show every Sunday at 9 a.m. to 12 live on the Woking radio station every Sunday. He's squashing on Silent Gems on the Force Spirit. Always watch this video. That's what they need to money. But we need you. Watch the video. He's squashing on Silent Gems. Bye.